लेंसकार्ट के नए 3D ट्राई ऑन के साथ अब ट्राई करो हजारों चश्मे, वो भी अपने ही चेहरे पर। डाउनलोड द ऐप, क्रिएट योर 3D avatar. Lenskart.com.
Verbs. A verb is one of the main parts of a sentence or question in English. In fact, you can't have a sentence or a question without a verb. That's how important these action parts of speech are. The verb signals an action, an occurrence, or a state of being. Whether mental, physical, or mechanical, verbs always express activity. Let's see the examples. Priya cleaned the table. Here the word clean is the verb as it shows the action performed by Priya. Maya is an intelligent girl. Though no action is being performed here, the state of being is expressed through the verb is. In general, there are two types of verbs, physical verbs and mental verbs. First one is physical verbs. Physical verbs are action verbs. They describe specific physical actions. If you can create a motion with your body or use a tool to complete an action, the word you use to describe it is most likely a physical verb. Physical verb examples. Let's run to the corner and back. I hear the train coming. Call me when you are finished with class. And the second one is mental verbs. Mental verbs have meanings that are related to concepts such as discovering, understanding, thinking, or planning. In general, a mental verb refers to a cognitive state. Mental verb examples. I know the answer. She recognized me from across the room. Do you believe everything people tell you? In addition to these, the other type is states of being verbs. It is also known as linking verbs. State of being verbs describe conditions or situations that exist. State of being verbs are inactive since no action is being performed. These verbs are usually complemented by adjectives. States of being verb examples. I'm a student. We are circus performers. Please be quiet. Now let's study the kinds of verbs, and these are classified into three categories. They are: first one, finite and infinite verbs; second one, transitive and intransitive verbs; and third one, regular and irregular verbs. First one, finite and non-finite verbs. Finite verbs. A finite verb is the main verb of a sentence and has a direct relation to the subject of a sentence or clause. A sentence with a finite verb does not require another verb in the sentence in order to be grammatically correct. Let's see some examples. I play every day. She skips many classes. She cried for hours. All the verbs mentioned above are finite verbs as they express actions directly related to the subject of the sentence. The only verbs that can be said to be finite are those in their base form: eat, play, read. All the infinite form without to, their past tense form, or their third person singular form: eats, plays, reads. Non-finite verbs. Verb forms that are never considered finite and are known as non-finite verbs are gerunds, infinitives, and participles, both past and present. For example, the teacher is teaching the French Revolution. Here, the present continuous verb is teaching has been used. Note that teaching is present participle form and is considered as a non-finite verb. The finite verb in the sentence is the auxiliary verb is. And the next one, transitive and intransitive verbs. Transitive verb. This describes an action that is happening to someone or something. This person or thing is known as the direct object of the verb. Let's see some examples. He is holding a pen. Here the action of holding is happening to a pen. I borrowed the book from the library. Here, the action of borrowed is happening to the book. I was reading an interesting book last night. Here, the action reading is happening to an interesting book. Moreover, transitive verbs can also take indirect objects, which are the people or things receiving the direct object. For example, I mailed the draft to my boss. Here, my boss receives the draft through the action of mailing. Intransitive verbs. These verbs do not have objects, that is, no one or nothing is receiving their action. Let's see some examples. Meera runs. Here there is no object receiving the action of running. I cannot believe that the riots broke out. Here there is no object receiving the action of broke out. Do not disturb while the children sing. Here there is no object receiving the action of sing. And the next one, regular and irregular verbs. As each verb is either transitive or intransitive, each one is either regular or irregular. Regular verbs. They are those to whose base form D or ED can be added to form both the past simple tense and past participle forms. Example, in base form, I bake cookies. In simple past, I baked cookies. In past participle, I had baked cookies. In base form, they mint coins. In simple past, they minted coins. In past participle, they had minted coins. In base form, we play chess. In simple past, we played chess. In past participle, we had played chess. Irregular verbs. They are those verbs whose past tense and past participle forms are usually completely different from one another. And since they do not follow any predictable pattern, one has no other option but to learn each one separately. In base form, I do yoga. In simple past, I did yoga. In past participle, I had done yoga. In base form, I see a cat. In simple past, I saw a cat. In past participle, I had seen a cat. In base form, I drive slowly. In simple past, I drove slowly. In past participle, I had driven slowly. Rules to use verbs as part of speech. 1. If two subjects used in a sentence do not have the same number, use separate auxiliaries for both of them. Let's see the example. 5 apples sold and 1 were purchased. This is incorrect. 5 apples were sold and 1 was purchased. This is correct. Second one. A single verb should be used for a subject only when the form of the verb is same for both the subjects. Let's see the example. I am intelligent and my sister creative. This is incorrect. I am intelligent and my sister is creative. This is correct. Third one. A past tense in the main clause should be followed by a past tense in the subordinate clause. Let's see the example. Pratima failed because she misses classes. This is incorrect. Pratima failed because she missed classes. This is correct. Fourth one. A past tense in the main clause can be followed by a present tense in the subordinate clause when the subordinate clause expresses a universal truth. Let's see the example. We were told that Earth moved round the sun. This is incorrect. We were told that the Earth moves round the sun. This is correct. Fifth one. Modal auxiliaries are not used together, but they can be corrected by a conjunction. Let's see the example. You should must come. This is incorrect. You should and must come. This is correct. Now let's study what is subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement. For a complete understanding of the verbs, one needs to get acquainted with the concept of subject-verb agreement. In any sentence, the use of verb according to the number of subjects or the persons is called verb agreement. Let's see some examples. Maya sings a song. Here, Maya is a single person or subject. Therefore, the singular verb sings has to be used. The students sing a song. Here, students is a plural noun. Therefore, the plural verb sing is used. Let's understand the singular and plural in order to use correct forms of verbs. In singular verb, is. In plural verb, are. In singular verb, was. In plural verb, were. In singular verb, has. In plural verb, have. In singular verb, it is verb plus s or es, like sings, makes, plays, etc. In plural verb, it is verb, like sing, make, play, etc. Now let's learn some of the following tips in mind for subject-verb agreement. First one, if two subjects are connected with the conjunction and, use the plural form of the verb. Let's see the example. Sita and Geeta are dancing. Second one, if several nouns or adjectives are used for a single subject, use the singular verb. Let's see the example. My friend, philosopher and guide has come. Third one, if two subjects are connected by as well as, with, along with, together with, and not, in addition to, but, besides, except, rather than, accompanied by, like, unlike, no less than, nothing but, then the verb should agree with the first subject. Let's see the examples. Priya as well as Shriya are going to the concert. Fourth one, if an article is used only with the first subject, it means that only one person or thing is being referred to. So in this case, a singular verb has to be used. Let's see the examples. A black and white photograph was taken by her. Ashoka was a great king and a warrior of his time. However, if an article is used before every subject, it implies that different subjects and objects are there. Therefore, plural verb has to be used. Let's see the example. The doctor and the mentor have come. Fifth one, if two subjects are connected with neither nor, either or, not only but also, nor, or, and none but, the verb will be according to the later subject. Let's see the examples. Neither Maya nor Sita has arrived yet. Either you or your friends should leave. Sixth one, the verb should agree with the main verb. Be careful not to place it in accordance with the nearest subject. Let's see the example. The quantity of oranges is less. Ramya and not her friends is at fault. Seventh one, if a relative pronoun who, which, that, etc. is used to correct a subject and a verb, then the verb would be according to that subject which precedes that relative pronoun. Let's see the example. She is one of the oldest women that relative pronoun have ever walked on the earth. I am one of those who, relative pronoun, will trust everyone who they meet. Now let's see some common errors in subject-verb agreement. First one, else is always followed by but and never by then. Let's see the example. It is nothing else than poverty that makes them naive. This is incorrect. It is nothing else but poverty that makes them naive. This is correct. Second one, as if is always followed by were, even with the third person singular, which it shows pretension. Let's see the example. He speaks as if he was a good man. This is incorrect. He speaks as if he were a good man. This is correct. Third one, not is never used with until. Let's see the example. I will talk until you do not speak. This is incorrect. I will talk until you speak. This is correct. Fourth one, no sooner should always be followed by then and not by but or then. Let's see the example. No sooner I finish this work than I shall begin another. This is incorrect. No sooner I finish this work than I shall begin another. This is correct. Fifth one, hardly and scarcely should be followed by when or before and not by than or that. Let's see the example. Hardly did I reach the venue, then the event started. This is incorrect. Hardly did I reach the venue when the event started. This is correct. Sixth one. That should not be used before a sentence in direct speech. Let's see the example. She said that he will go there. This is incorrect. She said he will go there. This is correct. Seventh one. That should not be used before interrogative adverbs and pronouns in the indirect speech. Let's see the example. She asked me that where I was. This is incorrect. She asked me where I was. This is correct. Eighth one. If two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing, then the verb must be singular. Let's see the example. Secretary and principal are coming. This is incorrect. Secretary and principal is coming. This is correct. Ninth one. Two or more singular subjects are connected by and, then the verb will be plural. Let's see the example. Arvind and Ashwin is coming. This is incorrect. Arvind and Ashwin are coming. This is correct. Tenth one. Two subjects joined by and will always take a plural verb, but when considered as a single unit, then the verb will be singular. Let's see the example. Bread and jam was bought separately. This is incorrect. Bread and jam were bought separately. This is correct. Now let's see the errors in use of verbs. First one. If two actions in a sentence are shown happening in the past, one after the other, the first act should be in past perfect and the second in simple past. Let's see the example. He left before I reached the venue. This is incorrect. He had left before I reached the venue. This is correct. Second one. A single verb should be made to serve two subjects only when the form of verb is same for both the subjects. Let's see the example. I am hungry and my sister is sleepy. This is incorrect. I am hungry and my sister is sleepy. This is correct. Third one. A verb when preceded by a preposition must be the gerund. Let's see the example. They were warned for come late. This is incorrect. They were warned for coming late. This is correct. Fourth one. When there are two subjects in a sentence and they are not in the same number, then we must have to use the separate auxiliaries. Is, are, am, was, were, have, has for both of them. Let's see the example. One killed and two were injured. This is incorrect. One was killed and two were injured. This is correct. Fifth one. Two auxiliaries can be used with one principal verb only when the form of the principal verb is appropriate to both the auxiliaries. Let's see the example. He never has and never will take such a long leave. This is incorrect. He never has taken and never will take such long leave. This is correct. Sixth one. When there is only one auxiliary to two principal verbs, it should be correctly associated with both. If not, two auxiliary verbs must be used. Let's see the example. 10 students have passed, 1 failed. This is incorrect. 10 students have passed, 1 has failed. This is correct. Seventh one. When the subordinate clause comes after lest, the auxiliary verb should must be used whatever be the tense of the verb in the main clause. Let's see the example. We start early lest we shall miss the train. This is incorrect. We start early lest we should miss the train. This is correct. Eighth one. To modify a verb, an adjective or another adverb, we use an adverb. Let's see the example. She speaks very intelligent. This is incorrect. She speaks very intelligently. This is correct. Ninth one. Modal auxiliaries are not used together, but two auxiliaries can be connected by a conjunction. Let's see the example. He should must say it. This is incorrect. He should and must say it. This is correct. Tenth one. When need or dare is followed by not, it turns into modal auxiliary. In that situation, it takes infinite and we cannot use needs not or dares not. Let's see the example. He dares not do it. This is incorrect. He dare not to do it. This is correct. So this is about verbs.